the last video, I talked about decision time, whether to go north, south, or what. And we have decided to step out into the unknown for us, and we are heading south. Today, we just left the marina, and we are anchored in Playa Bonanza. And then during the night, we will head south. There's going to be very light winds, and we will anchor in Bahia de los Muertos. Bahia de los Muertos, which means Bay of the Dead, was renamed by real estate developers Bahia de Sueños, or Bay of Dreams. It is a hook in the coastline about 50 nautical miles from the La Paz Channel entrance and provides shelter for boats moving up and down the coast and a jumping off point for boats crossing to the mainland. The cruising guide suggests anchoring in 4 to 7 fathoms over sand. When we attempted anchoring in shallower water and closer to the beach, we were unable to get our anchor to set. I suspect the rocky ledges extend out from the beach, and our anchor would penetrate the shallow sand layer only to skitter across the ledges. Utilizing Starlink and satellite view on Google Maps, we found a patch of sand to drop the hook in 22 feet of water tucked in behind the point. For the first 2 days, all was well. The first morning, we saw a humpback whale feeding nearby and jumping mobula rays. We enjoyed the restaurant 1535, which is the year Hernán Cortez arrived in La Paz, and Blondie romped on the beach. Then the northers began once again, and we found that while we had great wave protection, the flat terrain to the north that runs from the kiteboard capital of La Ventana through Los Planes offered little in the way of wind abatement. After 2 weeks and no weather windows of significant duration for a 200-mile crossing to the mainland, a wind that shredded our Mexican courtesy flag, and a strong norther forecast for the coming week, we decided to return to Bahia Falsa outside of La Paz. It was a decision that we found depressing. Sure, we could have crossed in the 2 weeks we stayed at Muertos, as a younger friend did indeed do, but it would have been uncomfortable and would have physically tested both of us. We had self-doubts and wondered whether we were just becoming old and fearful. After a conversation with a sailing friend aged 75, we felt better about the decision. Our balance isn't what it used to be, and neither is our physical strength. It's okay to be safe than sorry, and yes, we are getting older. Now, in a few days' time, there should be a weather window of significant duration for a nice crossing. But after having waited almost 3 weeks, we will instead head into the La Paz anchorage for reprovisioning before slowly heading north along the Baja coast, as our visas will be expiring in early April. And of general interest, viewers will remember my concern last year about the fencing going up on the Costa Baja, Puerto Cortez property. I was sure this year I would find condos populating the slope above the beach where Blondie and I used to walk. Much to my surprise, Blondie and I were still able to access the beach this year through gates, but discovered that the protected species of cacti and trees had been removed. Luckily for us, construction in Mexico moves ahead at a glacial pace, but it was sad to visit, knowing that the land will be forever changed. And while I am on my soapbox, this year marina slips in La Paz were extremely difficult to find, necessitating reservations months in advance. More and more boats are coming to Baja, and to further encourage the influx of visitors, API, our Administración Portuaria Integral, the government agency responsible for the ports, has now completed environmental studies and adopted a plan to change the port of La Paz from the well-protected Pichilengui to the open roadstead at San Juan de la Costa. The scenic road to San Juan de la Costa would become choked with truck traffic, hauling goods to all parts of the peninsula, and Pichilengui would be changed to a cruise ship terminal. Eventually, La Paz would lose its unique charm and become another Cabo San Lucas, whose businesses are corporately owned instead of family-based and dependent on the ebb and flow of cruise ship visitors. But enough of that. We are anticipating our trip into La Paz and are looking forward to fresh vegetables. After 3 weeks, we are down to cabbage, onions, apples, and citrus, and of course, canned vegetables. We are also looking forward to getting rid of trash. I learned a good trick from a fellow cruiser. These plastic containers that were emptied in the course of time serve as containers for folded and compacted plastic bags and other inorganic materials that do not go overboard. It has made a difference in our trash volume, and we have just one bag of trash. Now that we're not playing a waiting game and have a clear direction in our plans, we will let you know how our travels progress. So, until next time,